Love is finding someone who is your best friend and the person that you can be with all the time and never get bored of them, and that you care about, but care about more than you care about anyone else, including yourself. Yeah, love is sort of putting someone else in front of you because you love them, if that makes sense, I think.
I think it's rather backwards that people should have a say on how other people want to live and want to love.
It should be something that we shouldn't vote on, it should just already be a thing.
I think that everybody should just not care if it doesn't involve them. They should just leave people to do what they want.
If two guys love each other or two girls care about each other, it doesn't make a difference in my life at all.
Something that binds you by law to get certain rights, etc. When maybe fundamentally it should just be for love.
Regardless of your sexual orientation, that everybody should have at least the option to marry. Whether you want to or not, I think you should have the option.
When you're with someone and you never feel like out of place, and you never feel like you need to hide anything, and you never feel like they're judging you, or like you can just completely be yourself around someone and you can completely be happy with someone.
Two people who love each other pretty much just declaring their love for each other and saying that they're gonna stay by each other for the rest of their lives and having the same rights as each other and as everybody else in their marriage.
I don't know how to define love without like being cheesy, but I suppose you can't have to be cheesy.
I define love as the feeling I have for my boyfriend.
Love is the strongest emotion you can feel. Stronger than anything.
They would have to know when the time is right to say it. And again, if they're really, really happy, I think they will know.
I think it's indescribable. I mean, unless you've experienced it yourself, I don't think you can describe love. And it's different for everybody, and it's different every time.
Homosexuality has affected every aspect of my life.
Yeah, I remember being in primary school and the word gay being thrown around and everyone understanding the three meanings of it. Homosexual, happy and gay in a negative way, but everyone understanding that they were using it in a negative way.
When I was about 12 or 13, and me and my best friend, rumours went around about us being lesbians because we were very close, and I thought that it was quite ridiculous considering people just assumed that because two girls were very close with each other that they're obviously gay.
I remember there was this old couple where we used to live, and every time they passed the house they would just like stare at them and like really put them down about it, and I hated it. So
it hasn't affected me personally, but it has affected a number of close friends, which in turn would affect me when I see them unhappy or getting homophobic abuse. I don't like to see that, so I would stand up for them.
The stuff that's happened to my friends, that's had stuff thrown at them, abuse yelled at them, just because they are viewed as being different. It's infuriating.
Like at home before I came out, it was at home I wouldn't be myself, I guess you could say. I'd like tone it down to how camp I was, and even when I did come out, I still like I thought that I was like camper than I would be beforehand. But a good example would have been on Stephen's night I had friends over and we were all drinking and stuff, and Stephen night in my family is a big thing. We have a big party and stuff. So I had friends over and we were drinking. We got dancing and stuff, and then my brother pulled me aside and told me to tone it down because my dad was getting too uncomfortable. And I was like, I already am toning it down. How much more do you want me to tone down my personality to like a slice of bread? was the question I replied with, and I stormed away. So that's one way it's affected my life, so I'm not me at home.
When I came out first, and I received a lot of hate mail for a really long time. People seemed to go out of their way to send me texts and messages and anything they could, just say hateful and hurtful things to me. They said things like I should never show my face in public again. They said I should be ashamed of myself, and some people said I should go kill myself. And it sort of seemed like they were going out of their way to say hurtful things and like really damaging things.
The most I've gotten is guys shouting stuff down the street or, you know, saying stuff like that. So I think I've been fairly lucky in that regard to have never experienced anything really negative with regards to homophobia.
There's a lot of kind of casual slagging you get when you're like queer. And I guess that's kind of just made me more able to like deal with, you know, people.
The most positive experience I've had or witnessed in regards to homosexuality in my life is, for now, the way that the world is changing and accepting it, although it shouldn't have been that it ever was unaccepted, I think. But it's, I guess, good to see that it's lesser even noticed and it's becoming more just the norm, and even when someone is gay, it's not just kind of like, oh really? It's kind of just kind of like, alright, yeah, cool.
I was in the airport one time and I saw these two girls and they were holding hands, absolutely fine. And then they started to kiss and I just looked and I'm like, oh my god, that's the cutest thing ever. Because I thought it was so sweet. And everyone, it was so perfect because they were walking to get their plane and no one looked at them. And I just thought, oh my god, it's actually happening. We're making a change. And I could see them so happy and just getting on with their lives. And they got their plane in the end, so.
Before I came out in second year, out got written all over my journal, but the best thing about it was that someone spelled out wrong. Sorry. It's the greatest thing. For me anyway at the time. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
One of my friends came out about 2 years ago and everybody was completely fine with it. No one really cared because he was still the same person. He didn't change in any way and we weren't going to treat him any differently. So I think that for me made me pretty happy that no one then immediately thought that he was a completely different person. We just treated him like we always had.
So the most positive experience I've ever had in regards to homosexuality would have to be the first Pride parade I went to, which was Pride 2013. Because Belonged does this thing where every year we have a float and we spend a few months leading up to Pride making it and like making costumes or whatever. And whoever wants to march with us is allowed to march with us. And so I went, you know, the theme was Alice in Wonderland. So we made like an Alice in Wonderland themed float and the people dressed up. And I dressed up as Alice. And like it was the first time I kind of was able to like express myself that much in public. And everyone there was completely fine with it and was completely supportive about it. And like I suppose like I'm, you know, open and like I'm able to express myself usually, but like not quite to that extent. And I always feel like I always have to wonder in my head whether something's okay or not. But for them, the first Pride, that was the first time I felt completely okay with myself. And there was this one kind of girl and she kind of like she was just in the audience and she like waved at me and like did love heart, and I was like, it was like terrific. It's hard to explain.
The most positive experience I've had with homosexuality has probably got to be finding the love of my life so young. I guess, obviously, if I wasn't gay, I probably wouldn't have found her. So that's a really good thing that came from it, I suppose.
Well, I don't think it's necessary for everybody to get married to prove their love. I think that it really is a nice token of your love for somebody, and that would probably be why I think that it should be made an option for everybody.
Like, I don't really see why people have to identify as one particular word, because like my identity kind of changes sometimes. Like, it changes depending on the people I'm around, because some people know me as gay and some people know me as bi, and then sometimes I question it myself. And at the moment I'm dating a man and I'm very happy, so it doesn't really matter to me.
I'd identify myself as straight.
I would identify myself as straight.
I identify as straight.
I identify as gay.
I identify myself as gay.
I am a lesbian.
I identify myself as straight.
I identify as straight.
I identify as gay. I identify as human.